ladies and gentlemen, back again for another episode, and this time we are getting you something in a series of museums. And we have traveled all the way from Panjim via the Kolwa circle on the way to Kolwa, and we are going into Benauli. But when we talk of Benauli, remember that Benauli means Banahalli, the very place where the arrow of Parshuram fell here and the sea receded back. That is Banahalli or Benauli. But behind me, you can see a beautiful church over here. This particular church is dedicated to Saint John the Baptist. But this church has never been here all the time. Initially, in 1581, this church was built in Kolwa. But that whole area was very marshy, and then in 1596 they shifted it from there to here, and this was built by the Jesuits. Please realize one thing, that we have a festival in Goa called as Saint João or Saint John, and that festival normally is in the name of this saint, and on that day we bring and honor the son-in-laws, and on that day you know that they have the tradition of jumping in the well. Nice story of that, but today we have not come to do the church of Saint John the Baptist because it's a beautiful church. But from here, around 200 meters down the road, when you pass the Consul Bar, good address in Goa, you have to take a right turn because you see the board Goa Chitra. Today we have come to film and bring to you an amazing collection of artifacts by a Goan who is extremely passionate about Goa. He doesn't say it, but he is the one who has protected, researched and kept for posterity the intangible heritage and so many other aspects which today are going behind the sands of time. Let's not waste time. Let's go to Goa Chitra, and after that we will be having for you in the series the Goa Chakra and the Goa Kruti. These are the three museums done by Victor Hugo Gomes, for which we are taking all of you and going over there. Follow me. Come. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, into one of the most prized possessions of Goa, and that is Goa Chitra. Here you will be amazed to see the passion that this person has put into collecting a lot of artifacts which today's generation may not even hear of in future if this man had not to preserve them. But when you come over here, they have a counter where you have to get your tickets, and that goes for preservation of all the things. And I think it is due that we have to have the tickets, and then after you have got the ticket, then you entered the main museum that is from here. In fact, I can see a lovely, very ancient chariot over here. So we have parked our chariot, the car, in the parking lot, and here we have got this rath over here, beautifully carved out of wood, but they have put granite wheels for it. And here we have got a grand old security who is going to let us inside the museum. Good morning, Badgar.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
This gentleman is Mr. Dominic Goes, and by God, I'm telling you, the owner, the curator, the proprietor of this, Mr. Victor Hugo Gomes, he knows how to keep the respect of the elder generation. So here we have got Mr. Dominic Goes, who's let us inside. So before he stops me from going inside, let me get in. So here I am inside and I can see somebody coming to welcome me. Hello.
Welcome to Goa Chitra Museum. I'm your guide. My name is Brescia.
Well, beautiful welcome by a lady, Miss Brescia. Thank you so much and good morning to you.
Yes.
Looking forward to see your Goa Chitra. Come.
Come.
So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, about to enter the portal, a very Goan portal to a place called as Goa Chitra. Let's not waste time. Let's get in. So here we are coming to the gate of entering into Goa Chitra. But ladies and gentlemen, as I open these doors, I must tell you something very, very historic about these doors.
Now this gate, the Goan Saint Joseph Vaz is from Benauli. So at that time he had been baptized when this gate was there for the chapel, Saint John the Baptist Church.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, can you believe it? Saint Joseph Vaz, who was born here, I think his mother was from here.
Yes, from Benauli.
So earlier we had a tradition where they would come here to the mother's house for delivery, and he was baptized in Saint John the Baptist Church when that chapel, it was a chapel, had these doors. Can you believe it? As you touch these doors today, you are actually touching an incident in the life of Saint Joseph Vaz. Very important. I think beautiful way to make a person enter inside. Let's see something more. Come on, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, now that we have walked inside over here, we have this lady who is now going to tell us a few things about here. But first, let me ask her one question. Ma'am, what is this thing? Why was this museum called as Goa Chitra?
Goa Chitra means the Goan's picture. You will see everything of the picture of Goans.
Okay.
Okay, what the artifacts are.
Okay. So when we see Goa Chitra, we come to know what a Goan is.
Yes.
Oh, very beautiful, very beautiful. Okay, now you have got something here. We see a lot of altars. And can you tell us something about some important pieces over here?
This is a Christian section.
Okay.
This is a confession box where the priest sits here. One who wants to confess, he kneels down. But here, only the priest has to hear, not to see. Okay. And this is a bishop chair.
Okay. This is the bishop's chair?
Yes.
Okay.
Now this is a art of tapestry, art of a paper and a cloth. See her face, hands, heart, it is paper, the remaining is of cloth. So there was a tradition in Goa. The girl who used to get married, she had to stitch it by herself. And while taking the dowry, she had to take it along with her to the husband's place, fit it on their altar. So the boy's family used to come to know how good she was in stitching. Because that time stitching, cooking was compulsory for the girl.
Hey girls, watch out. Next time you get married, you have to do a tapestry and you are going to be checked whether you know stitching. I know, it's okay. I know you go and have ready-made clothes outside and then you call for food. But home-cooked food, home-stitched dresses, customized dresses were at a time the most important part in the life of a woman. Okay? See this. Brescia Bhai, what is that thing that I see that looks like a chapati maker over there? What is it?
Now this is a host maker. The host. What they give in the church.
Okay.
But this was done on fire.
Okay.
But nowadays, electricity.
Okay.
Small one for the people, big one for the priest, and there's a cutter.
Okay, so they used to make that and then it is to be cut.
Yes. But now it is electricity.
Now it is electricity.
First, fire.
Fire. Okay. Take us
Now we
now.
are going to the Hindu section.
Very good. Come.
Yes. Now this is a Hindu temple door. It
Okay.
is 200 years old.
So
Okay.
when we are looking at this, we are looking back at 200 years.
Oh, yes, 200 years old.
What is this?
This is a Diwali stand, lamp stand.
Very
For
nice.
the Diwali time, just to light all the side. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, when I made the opening at the St. John the Baptist church over there, I told you all about a gentleman who is an amazingly passionate man who has been after one objective, and that is to preserve, to protect, and to promote the authentic and the ethnic artifacts and the systems which he is trying to document. And his brainchild, these three museums. So here he comes, the one man show over here who does everything single-handedly, and a very close friend of mine, Mr. Victor Hugo Gomes. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Mr. Victor Hugo Gomes. Victor Bob, bon dia.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Very nice. Thank you so much for allowing us to take the priceless heritage of Goa to my viewers all over the world.
Sanjeev, this entire collection belongs to the people of Goa. We consider ourselves just caretakers here, so that we can leave this for posterity and for the future generation.
Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot have something that is so huge, so priceless, put into amazingly beautiful 4 words that this belongs to the people. Amazing. Thank you for saying that, Victor Bob. Victor Bob, I'm sure the area that we are trying to go in is of your passion, and that is the agrarian heritage of Goa.
Sanjeev, what is very important about this project, like most museums across the world, they've always focused on beauty and aesthetics. Okay, they never focused on the makers of these tools, nor the users of the tools. Okay. What we are focusing is we are taking the tools of our ancestors to the level of pride. Okay. So I'll show you how scientifically, systematically, we've broken away from the normal museum setting. When I talk about agriculture, I think we can continue there.
I'm not going to miss a moment as he takes me around to show what he has got over here. So,
like as I've said, Sanjeev, like most of us know that agriculture, we can talk about some 6 operations in agriculture, or some 10 objects that were used in agriculture. It's very different when you go in depth into recording agrarian past of Goa. You realize the number of operations, not just the operations, also the number of tools that were indigenously produced in Goa for the different uses.
so we had tools that were made indigenously in Goa for Goan crops.
Yes.
Oh wow.
First and foremost, we need to understand that we had over 13 types of soil on which we used to cultivate. All this soil that we call Borod, Morod, Kuski, Kher, Kazan, Kantor, the character of the soil itself is different. So the crops differed, the tools differed. We have identified 17 different operations which I have displayed here in rice cultivation itself.
Okay.
Based on that, I systematically displayed the tools. Like these are totally tillage tools. Everything related only to tillage. For example, if you pick up any book on Goa, it will talk about one plow called nangar.
Yes.
Okay. We have many nangars here. This was a 5-piece nangar. That was known as koso, pointed plow.
Koso.
If you look at it closely, there's a plowshare, it's pointed. All will have a metal plowshare. This was used on Kazan lands, whereas on sandy area, Kher area, they used to use a flat plow. You can see there.
Yes.
Which was known as pan or pane.
Pan or pane means like a leaf.
Like a leaf, flat.
Okay.
Same way, in laterite soil, like if you go to Ponda area, you would find a 3-piece plow. You can see that plow in the corner.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
The reason why it's designed that way is in order to hold it together.
Okay.
Whereas in alluvial soil, if anything happens, the tool will separate.
Oh.
It won't damage the entire plow.
Okay.
So that's scientific were our ancestors. The reason why they use Wilmot wood.
Bilomad is that big palm tree with chandeliers on three sides.
Correct.
Okay.
So it's fibrous.
Okay.
Secondly, it does not absorb moisture.
Okay.
These are the things which have gone unrecorded. Why they used cashew tree wood for the shoe of the plow? It's because cashew tree wood does not absorb moisture.
Oh.
So that means when a plowman operates, the weight does not change. So these my ancestors were really scientific. Coming to tillage implements, let's start with the only tool that touches the body of the animal. Why ethnographic museums are important is because it tells the actual story. Like on one side in India, we talk about the banyan tree, that it's a religious tree. If you look at these yokes, the only tool that touches the body of the animal is always made from banyan tree wood. They used to use the root that drops,
Yes.
to make the yoke. Banyan tree wood is light, soft, and cool. It wouldn't harm the animal. Why is it that way? Why did they use banyan tree wood? First and foremost, our ancestors were very sensitive to animals. Because
Yes.
any other wood would have hurt the animal.
Yes.
Second is they respected the environment. It was not the tree that they cut.
Yes.
It's the root that they cut.
Yes.
So this is what we need to learn from our ancestors, the understanding of material, which we do not know today. Today we use any material for anything. Even the harnesses that were used, with the zupni is a collar, they always use the bark of a tree called kumboi or kivan. So that again tells you,
The skin.
that again tells you that our ancestors were very sensitive to their animals.
Victor Bab, I want to ask you at this particular stage, today we have got lot of educational institutions, where thousands of students are being taught. They learn a lot of things, but are they actually getting educated?
Sanjeev Baba, I always had this thing against the educational system in India, not just in Goa. We are taught A for apple, Z for zebra. Apples don't grow in Goa, nor do you see zebras here. We are totally being cloned as export models. On Western literature, Western ideas. So the basic concept formation in a child is destroyed in Goa. That's why I think that sense of Indianness or Goanness we are lacking. I think it's high time that we actually, I hated my school, I hated my teachers.
I hated my school too.
It's basically because, I'll tell you, I was taken to Coca-Cola factory to show me how Coke was made. And I remember the same teacher teaching me the importance of oxygen. And here she was teaching me the importance of carbon dioxide that was forced onto us by America.
A time has come today for you to get connected to your land. My Goem brings to you all this not because it is there, but because it needs you to come here to places like Goa Chitra and try and understand the passion that has gone behind preserving your heritage, which has come down from ancient times. Am I right?
Today, agriculture is not happening because most farmers are using powders. Powders are meant for cement mixing, not for agriculture.
Not for agriculture.
Then again, different types of wand that we used to insert, made from laterite, from granite,
Yes.
from wood.
Wood.
Plus a mobile one. Because a lot of families used to process only the rice that they required for that week or those few days. This is a priceless piece that we have here in this museum. This museum, Goa Chitra, would have never happened if it wasn't for this object. This took me almost about 14 years to locate one. This is known as a garno.
This is a garno.
It's a traditional oil grinder. The entire thing is of wood. The beauty of it is, if you look at it, there's no foreign material that is used. Everything is wood. To do this head, you require a specialized. This is made from komboi tree wood. So what we call cold pressed oil, this is the original cold pressed oil.
Now that you say that this is a priceless artifact that you have here, Victor Bab, I read on your website, you have very passionately talked about a man whom you call Chacha, who helped you out with all this. Was he also part of maintaining all this?
Yes, Chacha was like my father. He lived with me much before I came on this property. He was a poet and a very good carpenter. One of the few carpenters that I've ever met across the country who knew different types of joineries.
Okay.
Okay. So it's totally every piece that you see in Goa Chitra, Goa Chakra, or Goa Kruti, all were restored by him and me together. That's it. This actually is a tribute to him.
You can see the passion with which he speaks about the older generation. A message goes out from my going to all of you. You have elders in your homes. Respect them, because you never know how much of richness they can pass on to you, and you can carry it forward to the generation next.
You know, once you harvest, you have to thresh, you have to separate the grain from the grass.
Yes.
Right? Today, if you see, we cut one branch of a tree or two branches of a tree, we put them as poles. Okay. We cut another branch, we put it across. Our ancestors never did that. They developed this tool, okay, where every year it could be fixed into the ground. Okay.
So you didn't have to cut a tree.
Okay.
In a world of use and throw out, I think this will help us to reuse, recycle, and to preserve the old heritage.
These are draft animal implements, okay, implements that are used on animals that work on a farm.
Coir they would never use because it would make a rash one.
Yeah, because it's rough.
Okay.
Okay, now look at this. This is known as gadgadi, a bell that was used on the necks of animals. Here we have an amazing implement here. One of the very, very rare flutes known as surpava. It's an upright flute that was used by the farmers. Okay. Every evening, so in order to bring them together in one place, they used to stand in one place and play this flute. There's a threshing machine. On 16th of October, we celebrate our annual harvest. And it also happens to be the birthday of my late mother, 16th of October.
Okay.
Okay, where hundreds of children, families come here. Okay, and we join hands.
16th of October.
Yeah, it's World Food Day. Okay, and we harvest. So what we do is, as the parents are busy harvesting, okay, we get the children.
They actually harvest.
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Every year.
Okay.
Okay. So we get the children to thresh it. So this is a old threshing machine. Have you seen this?
What's that?
This is known as akdi. This was worn on the waist. You know,
Okay.
to put your chopper, you can see here.
Oh.
Okay. So that when you're climbing a tree, when you're walking around, okay, it's freely.
So it was basically a scabbard for these local tools.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, very interesting. This is known as akdi, whereas this one is round.
Okay.
Similar. It goes on the back. This goes on the side.
Okay.
This goes on the back. It's called as makdi. Makdi because that was used by arecanut pluckers who used to jump from one tree to another. So they would always have that koita in this.
Because
on their
if
back.
it was on the side, it would hit
It
them.
would hit them. So like this, there are many tools which are multi-purpose. This was used to operate on animals. The culture of tender coconuts never existed in Goa. Never, ever. At the most, on the day of the plucking, the plucker would remove one or two tender coconuts to give it to the landlord and to the children, whatever.
Okay.
Basically, what happens when you remove a tender coconut, okay, the stem starts oozing. And that is what is actually attracting the pests, which kills the tree faster. Okay. But let's get back to this. What is the use of this chap? I remember as a child, we would hear the yodel of the jugador or oler. Okay. That was to call the landlord, the caretakers, the tenants, okay, pluckers to one spot. So after coming to the spot, in front of everyone, he would check the stem of the coconut tree for markings.
Okay.
This has got 2 to 5 marking, if you notice.
Okay.
So what he used to do was, after the plucking is over, he would count the remaining bunches on the trees. If there are 2 on one side, he would mark 2.
Okay.
If there were 3 on the other side, he would mark 3. If there were 4, he would mark 4. So for the next plucking, the first thing he would check is this. There were 2 this side. There were 3 that side. One has gone missing. Okay.
Oh.
So that was minused from what was due to the caretaker. So people used to get scared to rob coconuts.
Coconuts.
Okay. Today, with the discontinuation of this chap, has become a free hand. All over Goa, you get these tender coconuts. No one knows where they're coming from because there's no monitoring system anymore. Again, something to learn from our ancestors of how they used to monitor. Okay, it wasn't cheating, nor would they allow anyone to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, one minute. One minute. Ladies and gentlemen, what Victor Bob said was very important. There is no control of who robs these tender coconuts. Very difficult to catch them. But I can assure you there was one method of catching somebody and they would catch a lot of them, and that is the rat trap, ratir.
It's an irrigation tool. Very interesting hooks. Do you know for what these hooks were used?
Is this for pots that fell in the well?
Exactly. You know, Goa Chitra is more like an old age home. Why do I say old age home? Because in an old age home, you only prolong the death of the elderly people who are staying there. Same way here, Goa Chitra is full of objects which are made from natural material. Me as a museologist, I can only prolong the death. It will die someday. Natural material has to die someday. But what is very important for us is when the hands, the makers, and the users, when they are alive, to make replicas, so that those replicas, using the same wisdom, same knowledge, same hands, can last for another 200 years. That's our vision of Goa Chitra. That's why we closely work with different artisans trying to revive. And right now we are working on this project of doing miniatures of our entire collection using the actual material and actual artisan. I am who I am because of these people. The information that I got from these people, no book could ever give me.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the visit to Goa Chitra comes to an end over here. And I'm sure that you have been inspired by certain things, the words that have been said. Victor Bob is a very, very passionate person. He wants the authentic information to go to you. And in that, his endeavor has been backbreaking for him. So as far as possible, please find time to come over here. I'm sure that there will be a lot of suggestions that you have. Please write to us on the email that you see over here. If you have got artifacts in your place, you feel that they are making a problem to be kept, don't destroy them. Please send it over to museums like that of Victor Bob and so many other museums. They will preserve it with your identity on it, that you have been the contributor for this. So please, do write to us on the email that you see here, and enjoy my Goem. Signing off. Bye-bye.